back to Coffee and Chaos. I'm Alina, your host, and Tom,
Hello, everybody.
Trina,
Talofa.
Talofa means
Telephone?
Hello.
In Samoan.
in Samoan.
There you go.
Today we're doing something way different. So if you're going to watch today, be prepared to laugh and make fun of us. We don't care at this point. We're going live. We try to go live on Solomon. Hello, our producer who's awesome and puts up with us. I'm sorry.
Oh, what do you mean? So, what are you sorry for?
Because I didn't.
She
introduce you.
apologizes. Sorry
Oh.
for sorry people.
She does that quite a bit. That's
You
all
called me
good.
sorry
No.
for sorry people.
No, so you're not going to say sorry because you're not a sorry person.
I'm going to try not to say sorry.
Well, let's say this. This is happening on the 24th, so happy holidays, everyone.
No. We don't say happy holidays.
What do we say?
We say Merry Christmas.
Okay, happy
Merry
Christmas,
and
Merry
happy
Christmas.
holidays.
Merry
Hap-
Christmas, Feliz Navidad, Kwanzaa, Happy New Year's. I don't know any other language.
Which is why I said happy holidays, because it includes all of
Yeah.
Yeah, but I have to say, Christmas has
Happy
Christ
birthday,
in it.
Jesus.
I wasn't
Yeah.
I wasn't gentrifying Christmas. Don't
You weren't leaving Jesus out of it?
No.
So right now we're going live on TikTok, and we're going on Tom's TikTok because, well, we all know why we're going on Tom's TikTok.
Tommy Gunn.
Tommy Gunn, Happy Feet. Tom, you were so loud a few minutes ago. What happened?
Yeah, let's get some words in from Tom today. Because
you're
lately the men have been getting
Solomon,
shut out.
we got something. You're incorrect. It is the 23rd. Did you say a different
Today's
date?
Oh, I
the
did.
23rd, but
Okay.
When it comes out, it will be.
It'll be after Christmas.
All right. Well,
Oh, it will?
Yeah, it'll come out 2 days after. No, the day after Christmas.
as of now, but tell them to go to sleep, wake up, then I'll be right.
2 sleeps and you'll be good.
Yeah.
2 sleeps and you'll be good. Well, you were corrected.
Yeah.
The only question I have to go make sure I can go back and look and say, okay. All right. So we're going to go live, and we're live on Tom's TikTok. We're just kind of go on and talk about,
Freestyle.
and then, yeah. And
Yep.
then whatever pops up, pops up.
Let's do it.
So if you guys can't hear us, if you want to ask something, anything within reason,
Yeah, don't get crazy.
yeah, don't, please.
No X-rated shit.
Oh, we don't do that. That's obvious.
Are you still doing your topic?
Well, we can. Do you want to do the
Or
topic?
you're just doing
Yeah.
whatever people
You wanna
We
do
ask?
the
can
topic?
we can.
I thought you were
sprint
going
off
off
of
your
that, and then
topic.
let's
Yeah.
see what
Oh, we have a
goes from-
topic.
from
Mm.
top.
Well, this is where Tom and I are probably going to argue. Well, you saw it. So let me start over because we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves. After that last episode, and we were talking about women, and I had said, women go to work all day. They come home. They got to cook. They got to clean. And I don't really remember where I finished. Well, Tom said, well, what about me? And so a lot of women were like, of course, he went right to him. Like he doesn't even care what we dealt with all day. It's just about him. And
Who said that?
People on the
People on the TikTok.
responding in their comments, whatever.
yeah,
Right.
like
They were saying, "Who's the princess now?" Right.
Wow.
What I was trying to say is like everybody's just concerned about their self. First of all, it's me, and they're not thinking about the other person. And how often, if it is, right?
Well, I'm sure your girl disagrees with all those people because you're a selfless person. You're
Well,
not.
but that's what she brought up. She said, "So you're talking about you." I was trying to talk about the general man, right?
Mhm.
And the general woman. So there's a lot of women that do all these things that
Yeah.
are great women, right? And there's a lot of good men, right? But
are there? Because I'm still single.
they're there. I'm just saying you may not have came across them yet, or I don't know, or maybe you did and
God's still getting yours ready.
turned to
He gotta be real special.
But what I'm saying is, you bring
Special
it up
ed.
as a general, like, and so she's like, yeah, but you're only basing it on you, and so you're only asking questions on what you think and what you do. So you're, in other words, like these women are dealing with other guys that are not in that right situation, right? So
Well, you base it off of your experience, just like
And
I
who
base
I
stuff
am,
off of
right.
my experience. And
right.
you-
But at
okay.
the same
So-
time, I got to base it on if I
Okay.
was honest and just like the women, like I was talking to some different women at work asking them these questions.
Oh, you were talking to women at work?
Yeah.
Does
I
Marlene
talked
know about
to
that?
What's that
I talked to
face?
Does
Look at that
Marlene know
face.
about that?
Yeah.
Well, the
Okay, Solomon.
So it's like get carried away. But
But the
whenever I
question-
have him, so I'm under the hook all the time, and I have drivers, maybe 8 drivers coming, and everyone that comes under my hook, I ask them questions like this, right?
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter. Like the other day, I had all 7 guys and 1 girl. So okay, you're gonna represent the girls.
Okay.
Let me ask you this question.
oh gosh,
right?
you probably.
Oh, when
said-
you text us and said, like, what should I ask?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways, what I'm saying, and I'm gonna get you guys are gonna keep on. You're asking me questions, and I lose what my train of thought is.
Oh,
As I'm
okay.
trying to go.
Well, the question of the podcast was, let me say, just are women undervalued? Do you not appreciate us?
Oh boy.
Do you not hold us to the high anarchy that we should be held to?
Did you say
I think
anarchy?
it depends
I know
on-
that's
Sure
not.
did.
It depends on.
I would say yes.
Well, it
Let me
depends
fix
on.
your crown, girl. Come here. Come here.
It depends on.
Hey,
Okay, we
We
think you
texted
meant
about
hi-
what did I? What did
I think
I
you meant
just tell you?
hierarchy. Right?
I'm gonna. That's what I meant. That's
some
what I
women
meant.
don't deserve any value or not a value. Period. Like even then, the one of the girls said that she said like these women are trash nowadays, and I was like, oh, that you saying it, not me. But so when I said it, because everybody's just concerned, what am I lacking? What am I not getting? I'm always looking, instead of if we were looking at it for reals and saying, oh shit, man, my man does 80% of all the stuff I want him to, but he's slacking in the 20, right? Oh, I'm going to go out and I'm going to leave him. And I'm going to go find one that does 50% now?
Mhm.
So, like there's a way to communicate back and forth. And what's happened, I'm not just putting it on the women. Both of us are ungrateful for each other and unappreciative of what we got and what we see. And we're always just like, well, what I'm lacking and what I'm not getting. But the thing is if we really put back into the other person, sometimes, like I told the girl, I said, how often, when we were talking about how often this girl wants to be romanced, right, in order to give her husband sex, right? I said, well, how often do you romance your man?
But why do you have to romance somebody? Don't you just automatically want sex? Why do you have to romance?
No,
them?
I'm talking. So just like your friend, I want to maybe have flowers. I'm not saying a man needs flowers. Okay. Let's not get carried away. But I'm just saying, like, if a woman said, you know what, babe, in 2 weeks from now, I don't want you working. You work all the time. I appreciate all the stuff you do for us.
Mhm.
You're good to us. You're good to my kids, the grandbabies, whatever. And I got something planned for just you and me. Out of the blue, right? And went and did something, maybe took him to the UFC fight or something that he liked. Because men do that for women, right? To say, I went to this play that I can't stand, but my girl likes it. So I took her there and I went and drank this kind of wine that I don't like, but she likes it. And so guys do it way more often for the women than are even considered for the man. And when I asked the guys, they said, never, like, maybe on my birthday, or something like that. But like, why is it so much one way that you got to be romancing your, this person in order for her to give up sex, and you're not considering what, like,
I think because we look at men aren't into things like that, like we are. Like
men aren't into the, hey,
I think
you worried
everybody's
about,
situation is different. Everybody's situation is completely different.
it is.
It's completely different. But like you said, it has a lot to do with communication. Like I've always said, if there's things that I not so much expect my husband to do, but if there's things that I know make my heart happy or make me feel fulfilled from, and it's only going to come from my husband because I don't want it from anybody else, then I'm going to speak to my husband about it so that he could do those things for me and vice versa. Like I think in the beginning it was kind of weird for my husband, like for me to have like straight up raw conversations about things that maybe he never discussed before and with his other relationships or whatever. But I just learned that that's the only way the things that I want to make my heart happier, to make Trina feel good inside, it's got to come from Trina first and then communicate it to my husband.
I think that men, you talk about the men's mental health and you talk about this stuff, and then the guy wants to be able to be vulnerable and be able to say these things and wants to be valued too and wants to be considered, like, and then I don't think that
My bad.
I don't think that it's, reciprocated the same way. So it's they're not like, hey man, you know what? Like, what are you going through? Because we're a hardened man, we're tough. He's already tough. He doesn't need it, right? He doesn't need help because
So then
he's
do you
already
tell?
tough.
That's what it
then
is.
you share that with your significant other and say,
You try to. I know a lot of times I know men A lot of times we'll communicate in a certain way, and maybe in whatever conversation this was, and if that fails, maybe that next one is not going to be given, right? Because you're like, fudge, I'm trying to communicate and tell you where my heart's at and tell you what I'm going through and my struggles and my this and that. And you're just like past what you were thinking about yourself. You know?
Well, most people
You don't even like, well, and like even on the thing, you know, like one of the girls said, when I brought it up, I was bringing it up because the way I see it is you could put a $20 investment and get 10,000. It sounds like, hey, if you were going to put $20 up and get 10 grand, would you do that investment? Yeah. If you took your man out that one time and you gave him some attention and you told him, man, you know what? I appreciate you're such a good man to me. You take care of everything. Like that one little thing, that man is like on top of the world and he will go through walls for you.
Showing appreciation does not cost anything at all.
No. So what I'm saying, a card, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying though, but addressing it, and it's not addressed in a normal it's not normal. It's not normal.
How do you show appreciation without it costing?
I love you.
You love
You're
on
good to
me. I love on you. You touch me. I touch you.
But that goes back to the whole sex
You
thing,
verbally
right?
no.
A
Sex
card
is
is
not
sex.
sex is not like that's not like if you're nice to me, I'm gonna give it to you.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I asked. Like, explain. So if you wanted to,
It doesn't cost me to text my husband and tell him every single day when he goes to work, I love you. I'm so grateful for you. I'm grateful for our
But
life
even
together.
just checking, just like we
I'm
talked.
just
not
asking.
cost-
So
Yeah, that's what I
clarify.
meant.
So we
Okay.
talked about this before. We talked about our friend. I talked about it that, hey, you women get checked on. Pretty normal, right? Your
women.
friends. Okay, look. You do. You checked on a normal basis. You have friends that, hey girl, how you doing? Hey, she's going through the hey, I want to just check on. Hey, well, let's go out for a drink. Women just do that, right? And men don't, right?
With each other? Men don't
Yes,
do that with
men
each
don't
other.
do it with each other, and nobody does it to them. Even the girl. I'm just saying right now. I'm trying to tell you. Did you check on your man then? So if a man is going to, babe, what's
Somebody
going
just
on with
asked
you?
something.
I check on my man 24/7 because
some-
what's my
Going
man?
on with
Hold
you?
on.
How are you? What's your mental state?
Oh,
What
well,
are you
go ahead.
figuring?
Someone
like,
just said, "Why can't saying thank you, I appreciate you, and showing that is that not enough?"
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that's why I asked, "What do you mean?" Because you said love on them, obviously to me
Yeah.
means that goes back to the whole sex
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
again, where Tom was like, everything doesn't have to be about that. That's why I asked to clarify.
Part of it is when you're really interested in me, you're checking on me. You're looking like, you know what? I don't know what the fuck he's going through. I don't know where his brain's at. I don't know what he's thinking.
So do you tell
I
her
don't
that?
know.
Isn't that a
I
normal
shouldn't have to
thing?
tell everybody.
Okay,
that.
but I'm just
I'm not
saying,
gonna tell everybody
if
everything.
you're in a new relationship
But isn't it normal to ask?
and you're saying, hey, like these are the things
No,
that
it's
I
not.
expect
It
out of
doesn't
my
happen at all.
partner. Like these are the things that I like. I like if you know what I mean? Like how is that person supposed to know what it is that you like or
Because
that
if you
need?
meet somebody and you start dating somebody, you naturally want to know how their day is. You naturally want to ask what they're up to.
Yeah.
It's that chemistry that's
'Cause
going.
you care.
Yeah. So when you're dating someone and they don't ask how your day is or they don't ask what you're up to, then they don't care. They're not.
But I'm talking to a little bit deeper than we're talking about that. You're talking about how are you doing today? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, babe, sitting down, taking some time out, and being like, what is really going on with you? Like, how are you really navigating through life? What are your struggles? What are you dealing with? What is really in that head of yours? Because I'll be honest with you, there's times that, like, you don't even know that I was about to bash this motherfucker's face in today. You know, straight up. Like, and then I would be in jail, right? So the struggles that I held myself back.
How
man,
come
I
Tom
did
is
whatever.
always so angry?
So that's the
I'm
communication. That's
passionate about
He's
shit.
very passionate about it. That's the communication part that I'm talking about. When my husband comes home, he's like, it's not like oh, how was your day? Okay, it was good. Okay, thank you. Go make dinner, whatever. It's like well, this happened. Like that's the first person I want to talk to is my husband about whatever took place and I feel the same way. I don't feel like he leaves me out. I don't feel like he thinks that I don't check on him. But that was something we had to work on.
But so we're talking about you in a healthy relationship though. And
But
I'm
it didn't start off that way.
Okay, so that's something
Because I
that
was
we all
very,
need to,
very-
So what we're saying is this is the ideal situation where you're at and where I would like things to be, and I'm sure a lot of men.
Okay,
would
so
like
how do
things
you
to
get
be.
there? You talk about it to the girl that you're with, right? Look,
You're
this is
so
what I want.
anti-women right now.
I'm
This
not
is-
anti-woman.
No,
I'm
he's
not
not.
Like this
anti-woman
is
at
what I
all.
want. Can I say Marlene? Marlene, because Marlene is your girlfriend. Marlene, this is what I want. This is what makes my heart happy. This is what makes me feel good. This is what's going to help me in my mental health. This is what makes me feel good, makes me happy in the morning.
So,
like,
but what happens?
how is she supposed to know?
Okay. So what happens with people is until you go through what different things,
Mhm.
they have no clue. Nobody does, right? So right now, I was explaining to Alina the things of my divorce and everything, and my separation and all the pain that I have and
Mhm.
everything, missing my kids and all that stuff. I didn't know what my dad went through and how he was until I'm here. Now, I went with my dad and hung out with my dad the other day. Why? Because my heart hurts and I know what he's went through.
Yeah.
And until you go through it, you don't. So this other person, right, thinks they know. And they have everything. And they think they know your pain. And they don't.
Mhm.
And you try to share with them, but then they're, maybe mad, right, at what about me? And what about this? I'm trying to share with you where my heart is and how I'm feeling. And it gets turned around to, you're not fulfilling my heart now. No, I'm sad about my kids, right? I'm sad about freaking, my mom is very sick and she may not be around long. And I'm trying to tell you. And then you're like, yeah, but what about me? Like, what about, don't I fulfill you? Like, well, and then so there's arguments that men, right? They know it's going to turn into argument. So what happens? Do you think they bring it up again?
You
They
shut
shut
down.
down.
Yeah, why would you bring up that you're going to, it's like, man, I don't even want to fight. I want to have a good night with you. So now those nights turn into rolling over and just going to sleep and whatever. But no, I want to have a good night. So they just don't talk about it. And then you're mad that they don't talk about it. But then when they talk about it, you're bringing it up like, let them be open and let them be like, hey, this is where he hurts. This is why he does what he does. This is whatever. And so it's just very common. So I'm a very much, and I'm a communicator.
Mhm.
But
And
I
Grace-
have shut down to be a communicator if I feel that or if I communicate with you and you shut me down and just tell me what you want to say, what you're thinking about the next answer, or what you want to say, what you want to say, and not really wait. And I say, hey, what did I just say? Tell me what I just said back, and you can't tell me? You're not listening to me. So why am I communicating?
You're not being heard.
Why am I communicating if you're really not going to hear me?
So
I'm
do
only
you-
going to communicate. Communication is both.
So do you need to maybe just, no offense to anybody, but do you, from my own experience, I feel like at times when I did go through something like that, I needed to be by myself.
We have 3 questions if you guys are ready.
Oh,
Okay, let's hear the
my bad.
questions. Let's
One,
go.
you didn't answer why you're so angry.
He's passionate. He did answer.
Passionate.
We kind of just bypassed that road. Tom, has your divorce changed the things you're willing to do now in relationships?
Definitely. Oh man, the way that I see things now, I couldn't see it before until you go through it. So you think you know what it's going to look like there. And so I explained it like this. It's like a person at the top of the hill, right? And I'm 5 years behind him. And I'm looking up at the top of the hill and I'm thinking like, for instance, however many years my dad was ahead of me. And I'm thinking I know what my dad sees on the other side of the hill. But I don't. My dad sees what his life's going to look like. And I think I know, hey, when it's going to be. And so I thought things were going to be way different. My divorce, everything was, and then it wasn't at all. And I'm just like, man, the devastation, the shit I left behind, what I would have accepted, what I would have went through, what I would have sacrificed to, I would have did things definitely different.
I'm going to answer this one for you, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Uh-oh.
It's not really a question. It's kind of a statement, but I think that I'm the female version of Tom. And so that's what I'm going to answer for you, okay?
All right.
It says, I think Tom is the president of the He-Man Woman Haters Club. And
Women Haters Club?
yeah, remember in the Little Rascals, there was the He-Man, what was it called? The He-Man Woman Haters Club. So it was no women allowed. It was men only. What did I do?
Wait. Well, he could get it. You have
Oh, I haven't. So I don't think that you're
the other side.
against women. I think that how I always say, so people mistake me when I say, oh, I don't need a man. No. I just don't like weak men. I don't like lazy men. It's easier for me to be able to say that than for you to say that. If you were to say, straight out, I don't like lazy women. I don't like,
Well,
weak
what's
women.
wrong with him not? What's wrong
Because
with you not
women-
liking lazy men or him not liking lazy women?
because it's softer when a woman says it than it is for a man, because then he turns into the He-Man. Like he's saying all of that without saying those exact easy words. So I can say, I don't like lazy men. I don't like weak men. I just don't. I need a man that's stronger than me emotionally, mentally, right? And Tom is kind of the same way. I think that's why him and my sister are such good friends. They're so close because my sister is that. What did you pull up?
He-Man
The
hater.
Women Haters Club.
haters.
No girls allowed.
Yeah, that's the Little Rascals. So Tom wants a woman who, and this is going to sound really harsh, and I want a man who knows his place in the sense of, I am a firm believer in gender roles. Like, people don't like that. They don't want to hear that anymore. I've made it clear where I stand. And I think Tom's the same way. Like, I want to come home and the house smells good and the house is clean and I worked. And yes, she worked and she did it too. But on the back end, he will do everything and anything that she needs because his house is clean. His house is warm. There's cookies in the oven. And people think, oh my God, it's so 1950s. But there was less divorce back in 1950s because it was more so like that. Yeah. So I don't think you're a He-Man hater club. You just don't like.
I just, you hold certain people accountable to what you want. And then when they get held accountable, they're like, oh, no, I don't want to hear all that. Like, so I'm definitely not. And like, if you hear me, especially as after going through the divorce and taking accountability of myself and where I fucked up, and it was big time me. Like,
how hard was it for you to admit that and get to that point? For your
I don't know
part
how
of
hard
that.
it was. I just don't know that I necessarily thought about it. At first, you see all the flaws and everything in everybody else. And that's what a lot of people are doing, right? They're seeing the flaws. They're pointing out, this is me. This is what I need, da-da-da. And I didn't do it either. So what I'm suggesting, I'm not just applying it to only, hey, you women got to do it. No, you men need to do it too. Like, I didn't, hey, what's going on with her? Like, really, like, tell me, like, what do you really need at it? I kind of just was like, hey, you ain't listening to me. You ain't hearing what I got. So I ain't going to hear what you got. And I think that everybody does that.
Tit for tat.
Totally.
Well, you don't think with 4
all the
kids,
time.
like, women go through labor and go through 9 months times 4. That takes a toll on you physically, mentally, emotionally. Do you think that at some point after 4 kids and 20 years of a marriage too, she was also
Drained.
Yeah.
Totally. And I'm sure felt unappreciated in so many ways, right? And you're the same, you're doing the same thing. But everybody, whether they say it or not, they're liars if they don't. Everybody's focused on what they're going through because it's right in front of their face. So what they see and what their insecurities, they're what they need out of life, they're all about them. That's like, it's just very
Well, and that's a natural thing though.
It's a natural thing.
Yeah,
so
it's human nature.
So for us to try to, so all I was saying is like, hey, I'm not trying to dog the girl out. I'm just trying to say, hey, think about the other side too.
But do you think that
that
women should? So women didn't work before, right?
Yeah.
Women were home and then slowly became in the workforce. Like, we work now just as hard as you do. And I know you're going to say, no, you don't. You don't go out in the world and work like I do. And my sister does.
She works real
And
hard.
I used to do labor work. Now I'm in an office, but mentally it's just as tiring, right?
Sure.
So I work just as hard and I have to come home and I have to clean a house and I have to cook and I have to make sure the kids are good. And he worked all day and he did go out in the world and face the world and whatever challenges were there,
Yeah.
And that's what started this whole off. When you come home, do you ever stop and look at her and think she had it twice as hard as you at points?
Definitely.
At times.
And there's those nights where you say, look, man, she's already like, hey, let's just go out to eat. I don't want you. You've been working your ass off. You've been doing all this. And you got to take some downtime, right? But like we never finished this conversation, but we were talking about like, well, my friend said, like, the woman goes and works and she comes home and she cooks and she cleans. But you men, yeah, you do maybe change a tire but that's once in a blue moon. And I argued and said, no, it's not. Because I'll explain let me tell you, because look, hey, I'm on my way home right now. What do you need? Oh, I forgot this from the store. Can you go by and pick up something from the store? Yeah, I got that. And so-and-so, your son is getting done off of baseball practice. Can you go by and pick him up? Yeah, whatever. Those are happening all the time, every day, right? So you're acting like he's not participating and let me tell you something, you're not making dinner every day either. Because one day you're going eating leftovers, the next day you're going out to dinner with him or whatever. So it's not the same. You're not cleaning every freaking day. So when they say, I'm cleaning and cooking every day, no, you're not. And this guy is not changing a tire every day. No, but he's picking the kids up, picking something from the store, going to Michael's to pick up the project the kids got to work on, building it with them, cleaning out a drain,
How
So-
often do you clean out a drain? How often do you fix we had this
all the
subject, right?
time.
You don't.
So-
you clean
so
out
that-
a drain all the time.
No, but it's a drain one day. It's a doorknob the next day. It's a
doorknob.
pick up the kid the other day. It's a I forgot to grab freaking cheese. It's a whatever. So you're participating in each other's life the same damn way, you know. And while you're because you got a break, can you go by and pick up such and such from the store? Can you stop by and can you help my mom move the sofa? I can't lift it. Can you? I'm gonna tell you, I did everything all the time. So when people tell me, no, you want to go with me and follow me for a week and then see, oh yeah, okay. So yeah, you are doing stuff all the friggin' time.
Yeah.
You know?
But
I
you
wouldn't
so it sounds like the things that you were doing, you were getting done, like you both were doing things equally, right? If that's whatever you guys agreed upon, that's something that you guys discussed, right?
Sure.
Like I'm gonna do this, you're gonna be home,
I never had an issue with this. We're just talking her.
Okay.
Okay,
So
we were
she's
just-
bringing it up
'cause
on her friend saying that men don't do, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
no.
Well, what I said was you fix
And they
the roof.
don't because again, you're
The
going
roof?
back, you're
Roof?
talking about me.
Yeah.
What I do all that.
Yeah.
All those other guys, I get it that you're talking about your guy that don't.
Yeah. That don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
But don't you think that goes back to your picker being broken? Like,
But that's something they choose to
well, I was
do.
gonna
Like,
say you choose to be with a man who doesn't do any of that
Yeah.
stuff. Like, and women don't, especially today. A lot of women work. So I'm talking about the women that work and pretty
Sure.
secure in their job. If you're with somebody who doesn't do all those things that you're saying and you're doing that on top of it, it's kind of what you created. That's kind of who you picked and you've allowed that to happen. Just like men that are married to women, as you were saying, that don't cook, don't clean. You can't be mad you married her.
Mhm.
And that's what she doesn't do. So it's kind of what you're stuck with.
well, you're not stuck if you don't want to. If that's not what. If
A
you're not
lot of
happy, like-
people stay stuck.
or you could try to work with that and
Yeah.
hope that they see the other side and maybe somehow
make some changes.
Somehow you can, they'll see your point and your side and be like, you know what, man, hey, she's kind of right. I don't do this, or I haven't helped out enough, or but
But how often do people change? All of a sudden, a woman's not going to wake up after 10, 15 years and go, oh, I should cook and clean. And a man's not going to wake up after 10 or 15
No.
years and go, oh, maybe I should have put gas in her car instead of her doing it at 6
I don't
o'clock
know.
in the morning.
Sometimes when they realize they're about to lose someone, they make some changes.
and that's the fucked up part.
But
We
when
don't
a woman
do it until it's gone.
When
So
a woman's done, a woman is done, though. There's usually no coming back. The man will come back, but the woman usually doesn't. Once she's actually done.
I don't know.
I mean, is it easier for a woman to get another man than it is for a man to get a woman?
Oh, no, it's easier for a man to get another woman.
Really?
Oh, men do not stay single. And this is a difference.
You think that it's easier for a man to get a woman than it is for a woman to get a woman could just go outside and put her hands up. She got a flat tire or whatever. There's going to be a man. A man cannot do that.
Hold on. Let's do what is it called? A survey.
Okay.
Out of every 10 men that get divorced, I guarantee you 8 of them will be married or dating somebody before
So we asked
the
this
women.
question a long time ago. Look at, is it easier for a man to find a good woman or a woman?
We didn't
to
say
find a
good. We
man?
didn't say good.
No,
We just said a woman.
We said that right now.
That's-
I'm
yeah.
talking about before. We've already had this conversation. This is a previous
Yeah.
topic, right?
Okay.
Is it harder for a man to find a good woman or a woman to find a good man?
I think it's harder for a woman to find a good man, but I think a man will find a woman sooner.
Right, exactly.
So we have. hold on.
So if that is the case, though, if it's harder for the woman to find the good man, wouldn't that make, just like anything else, if it's a rarity, it's more valuable?
But most good men
but
are
it's not taken like that.
But most
It's like,
good
oh,
men
I
are
found him,
taken.
I got a good man, and I'm not even valuing him.
Yeah, but what's a good? What?
Right?
Hold on, somebody
No.
said something, and you're gonna don't flip out on this.
No, go for it.
We are built differently. Beautifully Imperfect said this. We are built differently. Men are made stronger. Yes, they are. They don't have female hormones. Ooh,
Right.
and cramps.
Okay, well that
Okay.
okay.
You're right.
Like that cannot be our excuse all the time.
No,
got
It is.
cramps
That's
once a
just
month.
what. That's just what it is.
Hold
You
on.
have cramps.
But men
You have
were
cramps.
built- but
You have a
men-
period. Do something about it.
But men were built to be the stronger gender. I have to agree with her. Men are
They
built
are.
to be the stronger gender. Men are built to mentally and emotionally.
They are.
They're supposed to lead us. They're supposed to.
Okay, but that's the problem for some women. They don't want to be led by a man.
You can lead me all day long.
But they don't submit to a man because
LED you?
they do not a led.
You're not supposed
They don't want to be led.
on here.
They don't submit to a man
Right.
and let him lead because they want to take control. In order
today's,
for
yes,
The
in
battle
today's
of
time,
power.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Like if you want a
yes.
man, you want a real man, you want a man to be strong and take care of you and do all these things, then don't make all these
But that man,
Was it hard
but
for
that
you?
man will quickly leave that woman that's trying to do that and say, you know what, I'm just.
I'll
Wait,
just go find another one.
was it hard for you, in all honesty, when you
I'm only honest on here.
you are? That's why I love you. Was it hard for you because everyone tells me like you're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to do it, right? To let go of the reins and let Mike lead you?
It's not that it was hard. It was something that I learned along the ways within my faith and within what my husband and I were learning about each other. And I started to recognize that my husband liked his role of knowing that he can take care of me
Yeah.
and our family. And yes, it was hard for me at first, but I wanted him to have that, like, I'm going to say this word and it may offend people, but he wanted to have that authority of like being the man. So I let him be the man. If that's what's going to make our relationship work and he's happy. And if there's a time where things need to be changed, then he says it to me and I say it to him. But no, it wasn't that hard. I learned to let go so that we can.
Okay, but what
have
if Mike
what
comes
we
to
have.
you and says, "Hey, you can't do this," or we're doing this, or do you? When there's a time where a man just has to put his foot down, whatever it is,
Mhm.
do you follow that?
So
Or
if
do
it's
you-
something that I disagree with, which is rare because I feel like we try to stay on the same page,
Mhm.
but I respect him
Mhm.
and I love him, and part of me respecting him and loving him is following his lead. He's never gonna lead me astray. I just had this conversation with my brother last night.
The brother
My
who hounds you?
my I love him, but I don't know what's going on. My husband has not led me the wrong way. Everything that he wants to do or says that we should do or however things are going to be, I trust him so he can have control of that. I'm not going to and that's why I can
But that wasn't
confidently
hard,
say that I'm
But that
content.
wasn't hard to trust him?
Well, I came in with my own issues and my own insecurities. So that was what made it hard, was me, not him.
Well, that would be me.
Yeah.
That would be me coming into a relationship
That's
and being able
true
to
with
just
everybody.
letting go and having to fully trust a person, especially at my age where I've done everything
Mhm.
by myself for the most part, to let go and be like, okay,
Mhm.
hope you don't, lead us into a freaking rainstorm.
No, it wasn't hard for me once I realized that this is like
Because
the
you knew
real
his
deal.
character, like you saw.
I
you knew-
learned to understand who Michael was deep down inside because I checked on him, because I asked him, because we know what makes like each other, like you just should be able to understand one another. It's not perfect. It wasn't always perfect. It's not perfect now. It's just the way that we want it to be. Sweet and simple.
Do you think
no
that
drama.
your 14 months that you guys had, even though you guys lived together for that
18 months.
that 18, bless your
18
soul.
months of no sex.
Yes, and living with him, and you guys are your souls and the chemistry. There's
That
so
was
much-
when I got to know him more than I had within the 4 years that we were together. Yes. Intimately, mentally, and emotionally. Yeah. But that was a choice that we made together.
Yeah.
It sounds like, okay, yeah, whatever. But yeah, we slept next
But do
to
you
each
think
other.
that has a lot to do why the two of you just are so you click so well now, why you guys trust each other so much now, why he is the man and you do let him lead?
Maybe.
I think that has to do a lot with it, because that in itself, this man stood by your side in bed with you for 18 months and you guys went through this together and didn't hound you, bug you. He knew like
Didn't try to touch me.
my end goal is this and we're going to get there. So
Yeah.
you have to know that you are his entire end goal.
But we also discussed this before, you and I, and Tom, where we talked about in our past, like the giving of yourself to someone in that way was like, that was in a way like that meant that person loved you. If you were
Yeah.
sleeping with them, that if they wanted you, or that meant that they
Sex
loved
isn't
you.
love.
Yeah.
We all thought sex was love at one point. We thought sex can fix everything. And now that we're older, we realize that it's a great part of it, but it's not everything.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of what we've learned or what we're going through is like, you're chosen, your worth.
Yeah.
He knows that. I know that about him, and he knows that about me.
Do you think you would ever be able to fully trust another woman after your divorce and get married and lead the way? And do you think that you'll find
for her to lead the way?
No, for you to lead the way. I'm sorry.
What?
For her, yeah.
Yeah, so what? Let her lead the way.
Marlene, come get your man. No, for you to lead the way, and it's Marlene that we're speaking of because that's who it is now. Like, would she be able to just say, like how Trina says, like, just kind of let go and just let you?
I don't know.
Is that hard? Are you worried about that a little bit with anybody who you may end up with?
Sure.
Because I know that I am. I know that at some point
there's a struggle. There's a power struggle going on with that a lot of times. And then you'll whatever, if he has flying colors in one of the situations you have and he deals with it great. And then, but the next one you're already like pulling the rein. Well, I don't know about this one though. Like he just did this one great. And you're already like trying to get control again.
Well,
trying to get
I'm
control.
a runner.
And I think he might fail on this one. Like, so, I mean, I don't know. Like,
the only thing I'll say is let's keep in mind that leadership looks different at different ages, though. Especially different situations. Like Alina, you're talking about going in and having done all of these things. I don't think a man coming into your life will command or demand that you stop doing something that you've been doing. I think what they're going to do first, if they love you and if they care about you, they're going to try to sort of fit in where they fit in and take the time that you give them and then try to establish trust from there. But it's not necessarily about saying, okay, woman, now you kneel. It's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're younger, I think it is.
I'm because I've been so single, because I always say, like, you don't have a ring on my finger. Your name's not on my birth certificate. I'm not a wild girl. Like, I joke with my kids all the time, constantly. Like if the kids are like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, I'm going to be on a stripper pole. Like, when we went to dinner, Trina had the birthday party on Saturday night. I was like, let's hope we're going to, a pole afterwards. Like, I joke a lot.
Yeah.
I say things a lot. I like to dress the way I dress when I go out on certain nights, which is kind of sexy. Like, I don't know if a man would really handle my personality more than anything. It might be too much for him, where he might say, like,
but the right one will.
Yeah.
You're
The
too
right
loud.
one
You're
No.
too this.
The
you're
right
too
one,
that.
there's that fit, right? You're gonna have that chemistry, and it's gonna be, and he's gonna crack up at it. He's gonna love it, and he's gonna whatever. And then, but sometime,
So, like, yesterday when I opened up my purse on our Secret Santa, it's the only thing I wanted, and I got it. And
A purse?
Yeah, the Steve Madden purse. And someone said something, and I said, this is all I wanted for Christmas. Like, well, Paul Walker, Charlie Hunnam, Dave Beckham. And everyone's like, what the hell? Like, and it's all jokes. Yeah, but see, Tom? See, like, it's a joke. Like,
but if it's joked the other way, we talked about that. If it was the same way, and I was like, oh yeah, this chick and that chick, and you were like,
oh, I would
Absolutely not.
I would whoop your ass.
Absolutely not.
That's
She's
just not
yeah.
happening. That's just-
Fucking
Okay, but
bitches.
why is it okay for you to
Yeah.
like
Because
all these men, but
because
your
we've
man
said it
can't
a
like
million
all the
times.
women?
When we've said this, when we look at a guy, our first thing isn't like, oh, like, what's down there? Or like, oh, I want to do him. Or guys look at girls and it's not like, oh, she's cute. I like her hair. Like, she has a
I
good
like her.
personality. No, it's like, oh, bend over, baby. Oh, look at her boobs
That's
on
not
her.
true for
Like,
everyone.
guys are, yes,
You don't-
it is.
No, come
Yes.
Wait, Solomon, you
necessarily.
can you look at someone and just say that they're beautiful? Or,
Absolutely.
And you don't have,
or their
no
attitude's
thought,
great,
you know,
they're upbeat,
No.
they're fun, they're
No.
and you
look.
have no thought of,
Sure.
oh, I'd get with that.
No. Look, I'm going to tell you this way. There's a
Then you
difference.
must be gay.
There is a. Okay.
Oh my
Come on now.
Yeah.
I have four brothers and
No.
500 guy friends.
And see, that's the
And
problem.
I hear the way they talk.
That's
None
the
of them
problem
are
when
like-
you're putting all men in the same category.
And none of them are
But
like,
look,
oh, she's cool.
There
She
is
has
a
great
separation
personality.
between being able to appreciate someone for who they are, whatever assets they have, and then taking the second step of saying what you'd like to do to them.
Well, you're not saying it. It just crosses your mind.
Well, but it doesn't matter. It's not an actionable thing. It's not something where I look at a woman and go, oh wow, she has a nice rack, and then, oh, I'd love to bury my face in. That's not my second thought. It's just not.
Well, those guys you're talking about, right? Beckham, Paul Walker, they're not, they're just charming, nerdy, just very intellectual guys. These guys are all, it's the looks. Every
Hello,
single one of
yeah,
those
they
guys.
make their money on that
You're
look.
looking at them for the looks, and then you're saying you're not. Like, because they're just
Oh no,
great people.
I've never said I'm not looking at them for looks.
Okay,
but,
well, then
but
why
my
is it
mind
the other
doesn't.
way?
But my mind doesn't go to the sexual act. My mind just is like
Oh, he
they're
just good.
very hot.
But I
Like,
bet you there are a lot of women whose
So
mind
you
does
think
go to
that
that.
the men that think that you, Alina, are beautiful and you have a great personality are only saying that because they want you sexually?
When after you've met me and we've had a conversation and we're friends, then no. But
Well, why not?
when I meet a
changes
guy, you can see it in their face, in their eyes, how they check you out. You know how they're checking you
Their
out.
vibe.
You know. Like if I went to work tonight and I'm talking to Tom and some guy walks up, I know within 5 minutes, even if he's married, I have a friend. I met her
Even
husband.
if he's married.
I met her husband, and the way he looked at me,
Michael, Alina's talking about
he
you.
would never cheat on his wife because it was like, "Hi, nice to meet you." Very like, "Oh, cool," like But other guys like, "Hey, what's up? How are you?" Like, so what do you do? The whole vibe, you know what their mind's going through.
Mm-hmm.
And so for Solomon, if I didn't meet you in a professional place and I met you out, you wouldn't just come to me like, "Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you." Tom, if you and I maybe never met the way we did, who knows if we ran each other?
Okay, but what you said though is you said that when a man first sees you, he's saying, "Man, I'd love to bend that over the table," and that's what I'm saying. It's like I'm not saying
Whoa.
that.
See, hold on. Somebody said, okay, most men then. Fact. I've been around all men, so let's say most. And I have to agree. I'm not
Okay,
saying,
I would say
I don't
you're
know all
right.
men,
A
but
lot
yeah.
of there's a lot of dogs, man.
There's a lot of dogs.
and I'm not saying every single one because
interest them.
your husband is one of them. Anjanette's husband
He might have
is
been.
one of them.
Maybe
No,
he was before, or maybe he was a dog before.
But women know what men think that they don't. Solomon, there's been a few men here at your place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh God, here we go. Like they don't even have to say it and I know. And as soon as they walk out, what do you tell me?
Okay, but look, there's a difference between, wow, she's an attractive woman, let me find out if she's single or whatever, versus the other way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, attraction is just attraction. There's nothing wrong with that.
No more questions?
Somebody said, damn.
Is that a good damn or a?
I'm not sure if it's a guy, so it's probably a bad damn.
Oh, it's probably in regards to your bend over the table.
Well, I didn't mean like.
Well, you meant sexual. That's what
Yes,
I'm saying.
that's what
I'm
I'm
saying
just
it's
saying
not.
is that-
It doesn't always go to that.
There's
That's what I'm saying.
actually, it's a human nature thing. There's nothing wrong with that. If a guy sees a good looking woman, that's where his mind goes. For women, when we check out men, believe me, that's the last thing on our mind. We like security. Does he have a good job? Who does he hang out with? Does he?
There's some women that
Oh yeah.
might be the opposite of.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
there are
talking
women
about
who are
Cardi B
dogs.
and Nicki Minaj.
Hey, don't talk
Wow.
about Cardi B. I love Cardi.
I know, me too.
Do you really? I used to.
That was the name of my car, but
Oh, okay. So I'm just saying that there's more women than not that look at a guy for more than that. That's usually kind of
Right.
fifth or sixth down on the list. Where men, it's kind of your first or second thing on the list.
Men are attracted to beautiful women at the outset. Women are attracted to men who exude leadership and confidence at the outset.
mm-hmm.
See,
We get that.
Yeah.
that was my only
But
point.
I didn't use the word
Attitude.
sex at all in that though.
Attitude.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I meant.
I don't know.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's because my husband's 15 years older than me.
That what?
I don't know. I just felt like he was supposed to be a certain way. Like he's supposed to know more than I know. He's supposed to
He's
behave a
wiser.
certain way. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. I would hope that by the time, he's 15 years older?
Yeah. He's 64.
Mike's 64.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't act like it. He definitely doesn't look it.
How do you act 64?
Well, you know what?
I'm gonna start recording him at home and let you
The-
see
the-
what 64
the-
is doing.
64 today is like, remember when you were in kindergarten, you're like, oh, my teacher's old. She's like 40 or 50 years
Yeah.
old. That's what I'm talking about. So I still go back
Yeah,
to
no.
referring to
No,
that.
it's funny because when I first started seeing Michael and I was so like excited and I told my sister like, oh my God, I can't wait for you to meet him. He's like, and he's 15 years older than me. So we met at like on 6th Street at one of the bars for her friend's party. And
We met at a
came.
bar.
He came and she was like, oh my gosh, I thought you meant like old, like 15 years older,
Yeah,
like
see?
Santa Claus or something.
Oh, damn.
And I'm like,
Where's his
I-
cane?
And he's not. He doesn't act like it. He doesn't look like it at all. He's totally like.
yeah, he's so cute.
So, Tom, let's
Yeah.
sum it up. I think the main thing is that you don't undervalue women. You do appreciate us.
For sure. Like there's good women out there, and they definitely get unappreciated, right?
Do you think there's
And
less good women?
Yeah.
There's what?
Less good women than
women?
there were before, maybe.
Mhm.
In the past, I don't know.
There's a reason I'm asking.
Yeah, the new younger generation, man, what I'm seeing come out, it seems like it's producing friggin' less and less.
So I was somewhere on Saturday night. I'm not going to say where or who because we don't drop names. But on Saturday night, I was speaking to two women, kind of mainly one because she was across from me. And she's my daughter's age. And she works and she cooks and she cleans and does all this stuff. And she said, like, Tom's messing with the wrong girls. So she's 33, 34?
33.
33. And she does all those things. She's like, so I don't know where Tom is
Because she
getting
was
this-
raised that way.
So that doesn't necessarily.
Say that with confidence.
So I'm not. You guys are assuming that it's the girls that I'm with and I'm talking about. No, that's what she's saying. Tom's messing with the
that's
right
because
girls.
people-
Yes,
girls.
yes.
People
yes.
That's what
follow
you just
you.
said, right?
Yes.
People follow
She
you.
just
that's
said
why.
it.
No, I
Tom's right.
Yeah,
don't
because they
put
follow
point in
you.
my face. I said
No,
it.
but I'm saying I'm addressing that.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying that, right? Well, no, it doesn't. I'm not talking necessarily. It doesn't.
You're
need
just
to be
talking as a whole.
I'm talking about what I'm seeing as a whole and what's going on.
Well,
as
where are
in
you going?
general.
Like,
Yes, where are
these
you
people that
going?
you're hanging out, like, not your girlfriend, the people that you're referring to. Who are these people that you're referring
everybody that I work with, people that I come across, people that I see, my son's friends, the younger generation, what I'm watching, how they're growing up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, how often are you talk about younger men, right? And every woman that I talk, like, oh no, he can't change my tire. Oh no, he can't do this. Oh, no. So it's like they're learning. First of all, we've lost all that in school. Like they got no machine shop, not wood shop. They don't know how to do nothing, right? So they're playing video games all the freaking time. Like this younger generation. I'm gonna be honest, man. But the women are doing the same thing. They're, oh no, I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do whatever. Like I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. So it's both of them that are becoming, and there might be, like you
But I
said,
think it's
here's
what-
this unicorn diamond woman, right? That we're talking about. Well, hey, he's messing with the wrong one. Yeah, there's good ones, right? Still, she's a good one. There's your daughters are growing up. You're teaching them how to,
I was gonna say,
do
it's
a
how
lot of
they're-
these
what
things.
Trina
They're
said,
going
it's
to
how they're
school.
raised.
They're doing all, yeah. So there
Because
are
my daughter and my
those
daughter-in-law, they both cook, they both clean, they take care of each other. Like, but Emma raised a very good daughter in Jackie. That's why we love her, and I hope that I raised a really well daughter. So it's how they're raised is like what you said. Because
But it's becoming fewer and fewer, and less quality people are coming out that are doing everything, and it just becomes. It's like they're weaker and weaker.
well, what do they say? Simple times make weak people. Hard times make.
I never heard that one.
Yeah, there's a whole saying to it, and
I don't know, but
no weak
Because
times.
some of these women are ending up with guys that want another mother.
I think
Not a
most men
partner.
want- I think most men go from their mothers to
well,
their
and
wives.
what ends up happening.
I'm not my husband's
So a lot
mother.
of these-
I'm his wife.
Yeah, but do you think it's different because you're the second one, so he was already married the first time?
I think
I
this
see
is
this.
it, right?
I hear this from women.
Oh, hold on, Tom. See, hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. And I think that is so true, and that's what's going on right now. Mm-hmm.
But so what happens a lot of times, I hear these women talk about it, like with men, where their mama coddled them, right? Made them the little baby, didn't hold them accountable, hold their men accountable to do all this stuff, but don't let the kid do the same thing. And just, oh, well, he kind of had it hard. He had to sleep in, so he's sleeping till 1 o'clock in the afternoon because he went to school last night. Fuck all that, right? So you're making,
Get up.
now this new woman, like that has him, is like, yeah, he's a mama's boy. He's running back home to mom because I didn't make him his tortillas right. And she does it just the way he likes. And she's coddling
Oh
his
my
friggin'
God.
asses.
She
And
didn't use her hands to flip the tortillas.
yeah,
she used
and
a
it's true,
spatula.
man. And I'm like, oh man, I know some of those guys. Like they run back and they're eating lunch over there in their mama's house instead of going home to their own house. And because mama still does this and mama, and you see it. Oh, mija, mija. Oh, man.
Damn, he's
hell
talking
no.
about us Mexican mamas. 'Cause he
Hell
said
My
no.
mom coddled my brother and babied my brother, and she still babies my brother, but he's a man's man.
I was gonna say I will baby Seth forever because
So
that's
maybe
my
it just
baby.
depends.
But Samoan,
Yeah,
it's more
maybe it just
cultural
depends,
though,
but
right?
it seems like it happens.
You're right.
Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
more culture
Yeah.
with you.
But with us, like I would want my son and his wife and his kids to come for lunch, not just my son. I would want like Loran doesn't really come.
You also wouldn't let your son treat a woman.
Oh
like
no,
crap.
oh no, so the difference is. So I'm listening to Tom and he's like, I do coddle my son as much as he possibly lets me, which is not a lot. However, the one thing I do, and I've always done, and nobody could ever tell me different, I've made him hold himself accountable, and which has caused a lot of problems in our life. But like I've told him, no matter what you do, I'm going to love you. I'm your mom. I'm always going to be by your side. Your wife will divorce you and you're going to be heartbroken. Your wife's going to say, go back to your mom, like you said, right? I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. So I've always made him hold himself accountable. Your boss isn't going to be okay with that and you'll get fired and lose your job. And that's one thing that today at 24, Seth says, thank you. Back then when we were going through it, no, I've always held both my kids to be accountable for their actions because at the end of the day, if I don't, it's going to be everything Tom said. And it's not just Mexicans that do it too.
I'm
don't.
just saying what I'm around,
No.
what I see. It's so I'm not the one who says it, but a lot of Mexican women will say, yeah, in that culture, that's what we do to our kids, our boys. Like they are put on a pedestal they don't have to do all kinds of shit. So I'm like, well, I'm not saying it. I'm just repeating what I heard. Take it easy.
Mexican women do love their boys for sure. And I don't know why or how or whatever it is, just is what it is. And it's been what it's been. And there's moments where I don't know if we're harder on our daughters because they're women. We don't ever want them to have to maybe depend on somebody. That's me with Loran. I was hard on her because I didn't want her to ever have to depend on anybody because as times were going, God forbid her husband cheated on her or he hit her. I wanted her to have the strength to leave. And life is different because she's married to a woman. And today I know that Jackie and her are both very independent in their marriage, but they're still one, right? Mm-hmm. And I am softer on Seth in some things because it could have been a girl. I think it's just because he's my baby and I'm not having any more kids. I don't know. Or maybe it's because he's a boy and I'm Mexican.
It's both.
Well,
it's all three.
Don't be mad that your mama didn't baby you and hug you and kiss you and coddle you. Don't blame me for that.
And my mom's still sweet to me too.
Yeah, you go down there and visit her and you do all that.
I'm just pointing out an observation. Mm-hmm. Don't get mad at my observation.
Yeah.
And if people are being truthful, they've seen the same observation I saw. Mm-hmm. But now when somebody else says it, if you say it, oh, wait a minute. Now they want to point out shit to me. But everyone else sees it.
Tom?
Don't get mad. All you women say I'm a woman hater. I'm just pointing out my observations of what I see.
Well, thank you guys very much. Somebody said that it's because people have to work 3 jobs and go to college and they don't have time. But I'm not really sure what part we were in when she said that and said, you're talking about a generation I know well, and a lot of it's because we seriously don't have time. So I wish I would have looked down to see what we were saying at that moment.
She's saying we know how to cook and clean, but this generation has it hard working and school all the time. But you have to learn how to navigate all those things.
Your life is going to be here, so no excuses because
you got to navigate.
You know what? Hey, you're going to have to learn how to do a job, cook, take care of your kids, do all these things.
If you have 3 jobs and you're going to school, we don't know that situation. That's hard. Like we can sit here and say.
But out of the 3 jobs, so like my son did the same thing, went to school and had 2 jobs, whatever, right? But they're X amount. Wait a minute, they're X amount of hours here and X amount, and when you add them all up, they're still not 40 hours.
But did he live at home and have to pay rent?
He lived at home and
he didn't have to pay rent.
And he paid some rent.
Okay, but like minimal rent. Nothing
Very
like
minimal.
Not where it is in California. Some people today are living in their apartments, not with their parents, and working and paying rent and going to school and trying to do better. Sure. Sometimes it's not that easy. Like I feel like I'm blessed every day with the job that I had since I was 23. As hard as it was to get in that industry, I still look back and I look at people and thank God for my job.
And that's good. And those people are growing up to be strong, independent people. And they wouldn't be strong and independent had they just had soft. So, it's good that they're having it a little bit, that this is what the world's going to dish to you. So you're getting used to it now. You
And
know what I mean?
California is ridiculously
So,
expensive for this younger
yeah.
generation
Yeah.
right now.
So
When I moved out, my
if you're
apartment
really,
was
so
cheap.
to those people, if you're really living in your own apartment, in your own thing and paying your own
Yeah.
car insurance and your parents don't help you with none of your school and you're doing all that, hats off to you.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
You're doing
Yes.
3 jobs and you're doing that, you're freaking amazing. And if you're not cooking and you can't every single time,
Yeah.
then hey, you know what? You're sacrificing that for a minute in order to get these other things.
You're
Yeah.
making
in
it
order.
work. You're making
Yeah.
it work.
You know, you can't,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Where I don't have sympathy, if that person, guy or girl, you have a kid, stuff happens. Even kid number 2 and you're struggling, stop having kids.
Yeah.
Don't have the 3rd kid, the 4th kid, the 5th kid, the 6th
And
kid,
then say you
and
can't
you
do
can't
everything.
do it.
Yeah.
At some point in this time, everybody talks about birth control, right? You know all about it. There's ways to prevent it. Like in 1990, when I got pregnant, we didn't talk about it at home. We didn't talk about it with our friends really, right? I didn't know about birth control or anything like that. It was a different time, but I also knew, okay, this little one's mine. I'm not having more, right? I waited 10 years so I could have another one. And then after him, I said, I'm done because I wanted to give both of them what I didn't have, what I wanted, what I needed. So I'm very, what's the word? Understanding to people that have 3 jobs and have to go to school and have to pay their rent and pay all this. But when it comes to adding kids, you're just making your life harder.
Did she mention kids?
Um,
I don't think she mentioned kids.
Oh,
no,
the-
she didn't. But I was saying that, and I don't know how young, these people are. Like, we did the toy drive. Remember the toy drive I did? And the one kid, Juan, that we did, the Boys and Girls Club, he has a really good head on his shoulders. He's not in a gang. He's not on drugs. He doesn't come from that type of a family, but it sounds like his parents are working hard and his parents only have 2 kids. So it's him and his sister and they're struggling. They're trying to make ends meet, and he was a really good kid, but at least his parents were like, this is what we can afford. This is what we're doing. Somebody like that, he's going to have to get 2 jobs. He's going to have to go to college. He's trying to find a college close to home because he can't afford to go away somewhere far.
Right.
So those are people that I feel like have it's a little bit different than the people that we're talking about. I think the people we're talking about are the older generation or the like 30-year-olds that are already significantly in their space or their era, whatever it is.
Hmm.
We good?
No other questions?
No.
Not that many questions came popping through. I'm surprised.
No, but it was good. And I think that the funny one is, why is Tom always so angry?
I got to deal with stupid people.
No, you said you're not angry. You're just very passionate.
I'm not angry at nothing. I just want people to see other, see it from different angles from everybody, right? Because when you gather up all your information and then you can see things a whole lot clearer. Like if I take in your point of view and then I take in your point of view and then I've seen a certain, and then I'm just like, oh, wow, I never saw, oh shoot. Like now you're making me see it from a little different, and I wasn't, now I can make a better decision. I can, so it's just seeing it from different, rather than getting stuck, we get locked into our way and it's it. And,
Yeah.
and some things are good to be very passionate and stuck in that way until that, you really get,
Yeah, it's very easy to stereotype Tom, but I think for me, Tom is one of the most insightful people I've ever met. And obviously me doing a bunch of podcasts here, I've met a lot of people from different things. And I'm always intrigued when Tom has an opinion and he delves deep and it goes beyond just, what I thought or how I grew up. I've seen your sense of empathy develop over the course of this show, and I think that's really, really cool.
Thank you, Solomon.
I also think that we're living in an era where women are scared of a strong man. Like when that
right
lion
away, they
starts
think I'm
to
an
roar.
enemy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
if anything, if you had me on your team, like one day my mom said this. My mom was like, you're so aggressive and you wear me out, like being around you. I'm like, Mom, like, okay, Mom. And then she thought I was going to be mad. And I go, Mom, you know what? You're right. I'm like that. Because the truth's the truth,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You just got to accept it sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Mom, I know I can be overwhelming. I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I am aggressive. I am tough.
You make yourself tired.
And I said, but hey, Mom, let me ask you a question, though. If you only had one person to be in your corner, you only got to choose one, who'd you pick then?
The one who's going to protect you.
Me. because he's so aggressive, so passionate, so tough, and won't give up. He never stops. But that wears me out. But it depends on what it's used for. And you can use those qualities in another arena to say, man, that's the best one for the job right now today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? So,
That's
hey,
what I'm saying. I
what are you
think
going to do?
we're just in an era where when a man speaks, we instantly want to shut him down. If a man speaks loudly, we instantly get, what is that?
Offended. You get offended.
Yes.
Well, but at the flip side, but if that man loves me and's for me and ain't gonna let nobody touch me or touch my babies or any, like I will say this, like it's lame, but you see it, like there's some men that someone will break in and do a home invasion, and the man will just cower down and say, do whatever you want to my family, to whatever. And there's some men like, you're killing me, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm taking you through the wall. I'm doing whatever it is, right? There's some men that can get like that. And so would you rather have a man that can be like that and would protect you to the end of the freaking world until he's freaking dead, right? Or you rather have him just, well, I want somebody who's just gonna,
Yeah.
like fold?
Yeah.
What you want, man?
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much. Our time has come. That was
That's
fun.
it.
It was very good.
Yeah.
Like we said in the beginning, Christmas, when this comes out, Christmas will already pass. And I hope that the one thing we do forget is how lonely Christmas can be for a lot of people.
Oh, man.
So I hope everybody has a really good holiday and people understand that if you have a friend, whether it's now, by the time you hit Christmas has already passed, but New Year's, reach out to your friend. And Tom is right. Like check on your friends, guys or girls. The holidays, the suicide rate for holiday time is so sad. We don't realize when people are like, no, I'm good. They're really not good. They're alone. They're missing a parent or a child that they've lost or, something like that. So thank you guys very much. Merry Christmas. Solomon, thank you.
I will be making the rounds on
Good.
Christmas Day.
Please subscribe on YouTube. We have our TikToks, our Instagram. And thank you. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Bye.